Okay, looks like we're about at the starting point here of the net. It's 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Here we provide PrepNet, which is everything about prepping. Sooner or later we'll cover it, I hope. So anyway, let me get some housekeeping out of the way real quick. In addition to this radio net, we also have a YouTube channel which contains an expanded version of this presentation. There are visuals and additional information there for a better understanding of our topic for tonight. There's also a link to a PDF you can download, you can print, which will give you all the information so you don't need to take notes. Also record each radio net, including the roundtable, so if you miss the net, you can still hear it. To get to our YouTube channel, if you don't know, go to youtube.com/@prepnet-talk2me. That's the @ sign. It's youtube.com/@prepnet-talk2me in your browser. So at this point, is there anyone who wants to register for the net? If you want to monitor, let me know, and we'll put that down and not bother you during our roundtable. And I timed out because I got a big mouth. But please register, and let me acknowledge each person so I can write that down before registering. Is there anybody else that wishes to register for the net tonight? Please come down.
Yeah, this is Matt Six. I'm on the Mini Mat Radio out of Tennessee. Here to register.
Okay, Matt, we got you down. A little slow here with the writing, but we'll get you up there. Okay, is there anybody else that wishes to register for the net tonight? Please come down. And again, those who just wish to monitor out there, please just check in and tell us you want to monitor, and we won't bother you, but it gives us an idea of how many people are out there, and because it does take a little bit of time to put these things together. Anybody wish to register for the net, even if they want to monitor, please come now. Okie dokie. Just to let you know, I don't sound like Red Bear because I'm not Red Bear. Red Bear will not be hosting the net tonight. I got an email from him this morning that said about 30 horses got out of a pasture, and he's trying to chase them down. And as of 12 Eastern Time, they had only caught one. So good luck, Red Bear. We had a very productive roundtable discussion on our first exploration of solar panels. So I created a video on our YouTube channel addressing the topic. There's a lot of additional information there, so please watch it. And of course, to get to our YouTube channel, enter youtube.com/@prepnet-talk2me. This will take you directly to our YouTube channel. Just select the PrepNet expanded presentation list to find it. Now on to tonight's topic. All about electricity, part 17. Lithium iron phosphate batteries, solar panels, part 2. Great. We will continue discussing solar panels and answer the question, what solar panel specifications do I need to know about? The first thing is not to purchase any solar panels unless the following information is provided by the seller. The wattage of the solar panel, the open circuit voltage, optimum operating voltage, optimum operating current, and short circuit current. You must know this information before buying any panels. The wattage of solar panels tells you how many watts of power the panel can optimally produce. However, each panel will use different voltages and currents to get to that wattage specification. Only use this specification to narrow down your search for panels to buy. Right. The open circuit voltage is very important as this voltage lets you know which charge controller to get. Open circuit voltage is what the panel will produce at maximum sun and not connected to any charge controller. This voltage will be higher than the panel's base voltage. So a 12-volt panel can produce 20 to 23 volts, and a 24-volt panel can produce over 28 volts. Always get a charge controller that can accept a voltage that is 25% or higher than what you will put into it from your panel. This is a safety factor. Great. Connecting the panels in series will increase the voltage going to your charge controller. And a warning here. Many charge controllers will state they are 12 volt, 24 volt, etc., and not state the maximum input voltage. These will only be able to accept a 12 volt, 24 volt, or 48 volt panels directly or connected in parallel. You cannot connect your panels in series to increase their voltage and then connect them to these types of charge controllers. If you're going to connect your panels in series, you will need to get a charge controller that states the maximum voltage it will accept as input, and be sure your solar panel voltage into that charge controller is less than that. Great. There will be more information on connecting panels in parallel or series when we talk about how do I wire the solar panels together. The operating voltage or current, or optimum operating voltage in current, will tell you the voltage the panel must produce to get the optimum current from the panel. Multiplying the operating voltage and current together should equal the stated wattage of the panel. It may be a few watts off. Finally, the short circuit current is the amount of current the panel will produce if the positive and negative terminals of the panel are shorted. This information lets you know the size of protective DC circuits to have. Great. That's the electrical specifications. But be sure you know the dimensions of the solar panel so you know how much space the panels will take and what mounting hardware to get. Though the panel, through the panel direction and angle are not a specific specification of the solar panel, it is important information to know. The direction your panel should face is roughly towards the south, with the optimum being the panel is facing the sun at 90 degrees left to right at noon. The fixed tilt angle of your panels should be set to your latitude of your location. So if your latitude is 45 degrees, say where I'm at, you should tilt your panels at 45 degrees. Great. I have provided a link to a video that better explains solar panel tilting. And for those who just want a calculator, there is a link to a solar panel tilt calculator also in the video description. Another thing you need to know is what you do not get maximum amps out of the solar panel all day during the daylight. If you can imagine a bell curve, which would show you the ideal power curve of a solar panel in full sun with no clouds for all day. The amount of current the panel produces will start at 0 and slowly increase as the sun rises. Then, as the sun goes down, the current will reduce to 0. You don't get maximum current all day long. Great. Now, if you have partly cloudy days, you will get less charging power to your batteries. In fact, during the summer, you will only get about 5 to 6 hours of solar light. Solar light is the time when the sun hits the solar panel enough to produce usable current to your charge controller. Knowing this will allow you to design your system to have enough solar panels to replace what you normally take out of your battery in one day. And I can't say this enough. Your battery bank should be large enough to be able to run a normal daily load for at least 3 full days. If not, then you should either increase the size of your battery bank or decrease the amount of electricity you use. Great. As always, please watch the expanded presentation on our YouTube channel for better understanding of this topic. Next week, we'll continue our All About Electricity series and discuss how do I wire solar panels together. If you have any questions about what we have discussed here tonight, please ask during the roundtable or send your questions to prepnetch14@gmail.com and enter question in the subject line. So with that, I'll do a quick check, see if there's anybody else who came in a little bit late, would like to register for the net. Please come now with your name and your state. And are there any out there who just want to monitor? But please check in so we can see how many people are out there listening. Please come now. Okie doke, we're going to have a lighter net today. Not a problem. Okay, let's go ahead and throw it over to Big Daddy Dave. Do you have any comments, questions, anything of that nature on tonight's topic?
No questions or comments at all. I did want to reiterate, like I do every week, about the GroupMe page. It's called the Ready Prepper. There's kind of right now two parts to it. There's a main page, and also there's Montana Jim has the PrepNet is where he's kind of putting some of his comments and then relating it over to the YouTube. The main page there, we talk about, just comment or content about, readiness or prepping, things like that. So please check it out. If anybody wants to join, just go over there and join it, and we'll get you added.
Okay, thanks, Big Daddy Dave, on that. Yeah, and the comments video that I made, I actually bring that up about that and how they can go get the GroupMe application and such. So hopefully we'll get some more people over there. I'm going to head and pause. See, is there anybody else that wishes to register for the net tonight? Please come now with your name and state. Okie doke. Well, let's go ahead and throw it over to Donna. Any, questions, comments, suggestions, or anything on what we've done on this topic tonight?
No questions, but I just want to comment that going through all of these episodes each week just lets me know that it's so much more complicated than just throwing some solar panels together and wiring them up to your house. There's a lot to it, isn't there?
Yeah, there really is. One of the videos is how I did the research or how we got here. That was a 3-year research process. And in that time, chemistries of batteries changed, prices changed. There was a whole bunch of things that changed before we even bought the very first piece of equipment. So, yeah, it is, unfortunately, can be complicated, and that's sort of why this presentation or this topic has been so long. Is you need to know this information. Some of it you can ignore because you're not doing, say, what I'm doing, doing a not a full house, but, I'm bugging in as opposed to portable operations. But all of the information is relevant and will give you a better understanding of what's going on. Let me break. Let's go ahead and throw it over to Matt there. Matt, you got anything to say about this?
No, not really a whole lot. I appreciate all your knowledge and all that. I dealt with some solar panels in the past. Different technology with batteries, lipos, got lithium, lithium polymer, and you got lithium ion and all that. Just make sure you're careful. Don't chintz out on the batteries. Make sure you get decent batteries for your battery bank. And be careful what you're doing. Because all because it's AC or DC, it'll still knock you on your butt. So know what you're doing before you start wiring up stuff. That's all I got. Thanks, Net Control.
Okay, Matt. Yeah, and you're right. And we are going to be having one that is just on protective devices, circuit breakers, fuses. There's battery monitoring, saving type applications that if you get too much of a draw, it'll cut off and things of that nature. And you're right. I'm running 80 volts. 80 volts is a lot more than 12. So yeah, just because it's DC, everybody thinks DC is 12 volts or 1.5 from a AA battery. But when you get these kinds of voltages and currents, it can be dangerous. So you just do need to know what you're doing, or you need to contract it out, or go with, let me break real quick, or go with one of these solar generators, which if you've listened to me here, I don't like them. I don't have control over them. They're usually much more expensive than what I can DIY build. And of course, the advantage of DIY building is you understand what's going on. So if something doesn't work, you're able to troubleshoot it and fix it. But yep, sounds good. Thank you for that feedback. Let's go ahead and pause right here and see if we have anybody else who's come in late who would like to check into the net. Please come down. Okay, looks like we're going to have a short net tonight. Too bad TC didn't get here because I think he'll sort of get a kick out of what was put in the comments video that I came up with our last week's roundtable. Actually, it was an extended roundtable because we kept talking even after the thing was over. So with that, I'm going to turn around and open it up now for anybody just to ask questions, have comments. The questions do not have to be with what the topic is about. It could be about anything prepping. In case you're wondering, have we covered this? Are we going to cover that? And things of that nature. So I'll open it up and let's see what happens.
Well, I appreciate no control. I'm just kind of sitting by trying to warm my car for tomorrow, letting the snow melt off. But yeah, I appreciate it, brother.
A good deal, Matt, and appreciate you coming in here and yeah, get that snow off. It's weird. I'm looking out. I have no snow on the ground. I'm at 6,000 feet in the Montana Rockies, and we have no snow. So you poor guys down there in the southern part of the country and northern part, you sure got hit with something that just skipped right around us. And I'm not complaining. It's just weird.
Yeah, it's kind of weird you guys are in the 50s and 60s, and I'm here in the mid-20s in southeast Tennessee, but we only got a little bit of snow, so it's not too bad. That's another thing about prepping, too. Prep yourself for the next day. Even if it's snow, get yourself ready for the next day. Be ready. Always be ready.
Absolutely, and I hope some people take that away from this, is you still need to prep. Even if you're not, waiting for the apocalypse or hey, there's going to be a flood. I mean, there are so many things that happen that you can put your prep design into practice, etc. You can use electricity. You could lose water. My older son he's in Montana in Great Falls. They had a 2-week time where they had a big water main break and they were under a boil water. And he implemented his Berkey filtration system, etc., and actually found out that the system he had produced more water than what they needed for potable reasons. So it's sort of good to know whether your planning and your prep for the bad things can work in just little things. So yes, prepare and hope for the best. And
You timed out there, Montana.
yes, I did. I just saw that because I monitor this on my other thing. See, I got a big mouth. That doesn't help. But anyway, I've said these things before. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best, and you can always scale things down. And it doesn't hurt to think about this before something happens because you'll be under much less stress. Anybody else have any questions, comments, or anything they want to say?
Yes, Big Daddy Dave. I just wanted to maybe throw around some ideas on growing the channel or growing the PrepNet. We can post out on the GroupMe, but maybe if you guys think about it, if you're on the radio or channel 2, channel 4, whatever, talking, and you might mention it to people. Before we got on here, I was up on channel 2 and I mentioned it to some people, but if we kind of reiterate it every so often, or just kind of try to remember that, hey guys, just want to let you know real quick, Sunday evening, 6 o'clock Central, channel 14, we got the prep net, we'll talk about this and, all of that. Maybe we can kind of grow it a little bit more. I know some weeks will be busier than others, but it'd be kind of cool to have more discussion and learn from other people, that they may come into the group and talk and give us some other.
Yeah, you even timed up there, Daddy.
I did. I don't know a whole lot about the I know some about the electrical, and I'm familiar with some of the solar panel, but even other stuff that they may come up with is like Montana Gems. Like, even if it's off topic, even if you have something else, so it'd be really cool to grow it. So if you guys can mention, and I try to whenever I can to mention it to other people whenever we're talking on the radio, because basically it's everybody that's at Talk to Me in the Talk to Me community. It's not anybody else really, because you have to have one of these radios to be on the net. So anyway, back to net control. Thanks, man.
No, it's a good point, Big Daddy Dave. And yeah, I thought about that, but with trying to do the topic and do the net control thing, I thought about going over there. But yeah, no, that is definitely a good idea. The good thing is you don't have to have one of these radios to do something on the our YouTube channel. So the information that we do here, plus added stuff, is out there for everybody. How we get that out, I'm not real sure. So I'm definitely would be open to some some suggestions. I might be able to put enter some keywords into the thing. When you do a YouTube page, you can do that. So if somebody looks for a specific thing, it might bring our YouTube page up. I'll have to turn around and take a look at that. But yes, we just need to keep doing this. Let me break. And yeah, each week's going to be different because, there's this thing called life, and some people might be digging out of snow. Others might have relatives over or whatever and can't hit this every single week. And of course, that's the reason why we have the expanded presentation and a tape of this presentation. So if they happen to miss it, they can easily go back and listen to it and see how we all talked about each other. So anyway, just real quickly, does anybody else wish to check in late to the PrepNet? Please come now. Okay, hearing nothing. One last time, anybody have any other comments, questions, or anything before we put the channel back to regular operation?
I just want to say real quick, it was mentioned a few minutes ago about being prepared at all times. And about a week or so ago, we had an overnight power outage, and I realized that I was not entirely prepared. There was some water that I had not filled up, so when our pump well, or the well pump didn't work, I didn't have water.
Yeah, I can also attest to that. I mean, I've dealt with hurricanes in Florida. Here's snow in Tennessee and in Wisconsin. And just a lot of stuff, it lasts forever. Make sure you have toilet paper. Make sure you have water. Make sure you have batteries. All this stuff, you don't want to rush out and get it last minute. Have it on hand and be ready. Some of the littlest parts of prepping is just being ready for whatever. So if I could say it myself, make sure you have your essentials on hand. That stuff doesn't go bad. Just be ready.
Yeah, that is all true. That's good. There's one thing that you can do, and I know it takes a little installation, but there's a pitcher pump that you can mount on your wellhead cap. You can watch YouTube videos on how to do that. So if your power does go out and your water is, obviously you don't have any water and you don't have a generator, you can also hand get your water. 'Cause that is one of the essential things to have. So obviously a power generator would be great, but if you don't have one, that would be a good thing to be able to install to get water still.
Yeah, it's good points, Matt and Dave. And yeah, on the water thing, that pump you're talking about, you do have to be careful. Here I have a pump, but mine's down 125 feet, so it's considered a deep well pump. Some of those hand pumps that you're talking about are not made for deep wells. So you really need to take a good look. I actually have built a PVC pipe pump that I can actually slide down in without removing my thing and get water. You're not going to get a lot, maybe about 20 ounces every pump, but it gets you something. And yes, I can run one of my wells off of a 220 generator or off my 220 inverter from my solar. So yeah, get prepared for all that. Let me break real quick. People don't realize we are prepping. Every single person preps. They don't know it. If the weather report says we're going to have snow tomorrow and your car's parked outside, you might the night before go put a blanket over the window or an ice shield. That's prepping. You're going to get ready to go somewhere, so you put fuel in your vehicle the night before. That is technically prepping. We do it all the time, but to get people's mind wrapped around, let's get super deliberate about this is kind of hard.
Yeah, it's like me right now. I'm warming up my car for tomorrow, just so it's not frozen over.
Exactly. Like up here, we'll use block heaters. So you might go out before you go to bed, if your car's not in a heated area, and you might plug the block heater in. So it's warm, it's going to start right up. It's really important if it's a diesel. So one of my trucks is diesel. I got to plug it in a minimum of 3 hours before I start it if it's, really cold. My backhoe tractor is diesel. It's got a block heater. I do the same thing with that. I plug it in, and I also have a battery tender, so both of those run. So the battery's getting topped off for 2 or 3 hours before I start it. So, because I've done that. I've turned around and I plugged the tractor in, the block heater, but I didn't plug the little battery charger in, and I thought, well, everything's okay. And I go out there 2.5 hours later, unplug the tractor, things are nice and warm, and I get in and it goes, rrr, rrr. So, yeah, you got to think about all that ahead. And that's all prepping, So maybe, I don't know, maybe if we sort of come up with everybody preps and they don't know it, maybe it'll get the stigma away to where they'll not think bad when we use the term prepping or preparing.
Yeah, I agree. It's prepping shouldn't be like end of the world scenario. It should just be you don't want to be that last guy who go to the store when a hurricane hits or a bad snowstorm hits or whatever. You just want to be ready. It should not have a bad stigma. It shouldn't be bad at all. We all prep, like you said, in different kind of ways.
Exactly. And like I'm rural, as a lot of us are, if something happens, we might not be able to actually go into town, even if that stuff was on the shelves. If we needed water, food, plywood for windows, like for a hurricane or something like that, we might not be able to get. In my case, I might be snowed in. We might not literally be able to get into town, type thing. So, yeah, you got to have just some of those. Even if you only do 72 hours, which is not enough, that's the government thing, because the government says, well, we'll get to you and help you in 72 hours, and that doesn't always happen. So you need to prepare, at least get that basic stuff, some food, water, heat, and maybe some communications lights. If you can at least do that, you're way above a lot of other people.
Yeah, 72 hours thing is definitely kind of a joke. mean, look at Katrina, look at Helene, a lot of other bad hurricanes and stuff like that. You need to be ready for. You need to at least have a week's worth for your family, at least for you and your family to survive and be good.
Right. And another little thing that you guys you've heard me say, you can survive or you can thrive. And that's where your real deeper deal of prepping comes in. You talk, let's say, food. Okay, you can go get some MREs or these deals where you can, buy a week's worth of food for 4 people. Or you can do a little bit more and make it to where, okay, I'm not eating oatmeal for 6 meals a day for a week kind of thing, because those things do not give you a wide variety, but like I say, you can either survive, which is the main point, or you can actually thrive. You can continue the way of life that you normally do, except for some minor inconveniences. So let me break. See, I do have a big mouth. That's the reason, Red Bear and I started this, is to get people thinking about, you need to think about this. What about this? What about this? And of course, as every one of our preps is going to be different, the plan, and it's not just one prepping plan. There's a multitude of individual smaller plans that sort of make your overall, and you need to think about them. So anyway, even though we only had a couple of people, it was still a pretty decent net, I think.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, it was good. I wish we had more people, but it was still good. So I appreciate it.
Right. Again, I just want to get people to talk about it, and we can do these discussions. Little pieces of information can come out. There's been some things that have come out where like last week with TC talking about keeping the solar panels, ground-mounted solar panels clear. Okay. I just sort of took it for granted because of how I have mine mounted. That's not an issue, but he does bring up a good point. And so having these roundtables is actually extremely useful, because we don't know it all. And I've been doing this for decades and decades, and I'm still learning stuff. So anyway, let's go one more thing. Anybody have anything else to say before I throw the channel back to its normal use? Okie doke, not hearing anything. With that, I'll return the channel to the normal use. And anybody out there who's listening, please, come back next week, 6 p.m. Eastern Time for the PrepNet, where we're going to continue to discuss about our all electricity thing and connecting up the panels. Go to our YouTube channel, get caught up. There's probably 35 or so expanded presentations there, starting from our very first one. And we've covered a lot of different topics, not just about electricity. And if you haven't checked in, please think about checking in. Again, it gives us an idea about how many people are out there. So with that, I'm going to thank everybody for who checked in, Big Daddy, Matt, Donna, and hopefully we'll hear you guys next week.
Copy that. Richie Rich, Hot Wheels in the house. Just stopping in. Just wanted to say hi, make sure it's known that I was over here, and I just wanted to say hey.
Yeah, 10-4. This is H Palmer _2. So 10-4.
Okay, thanks guys. And I don't know, did you guys get to hear the whole thing, or did you come in kind of late?
I did come in late, and that's okay. You don't have to if you want. I was going back over and checking it out. Thank you.
Oh, so for me, Montana, I came in late because I was over on channel 2 listening to Fish Lady and 719 and all of them. Yeah, I came in late.
I was here for it. I heard it.
Okay, good deal, gentlemen. Yep. And yeah, we do. Big Daddy Dave did say we need to do more to promote the channel. We've been doing this for probably half a year, so it's not something new. And hopefully we're providing information. Again, check out our YouTube page. That's youtube.com/@prepnet-talk2me. And you can get caught up in all that other stuff. And if you have anything to provide or to comment on, please do so. We got our email, and that's always at the end of every expanded presentation. There's our Gmail account. So anyway, so if nobody has anything else, we'll go ahead and close the net down for this Sunday.
Yeah, copy that. Like I said, much obliged. I appreciate net control, and hopefully Red Bear will be back next week.
Yeah, 10-4. See you later, Montana.
And I do got to say, though, Montana, you got a wealth of knowledge, man, and be proud of that. You're very knowledgeable about what you're talking about, and I like that.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, at least I make it sound like I know what I'm talking about. But thank you, guys. I do appreciate that. And want everybody to be prepared and be safe. So with that, we'll go ahead and close her down. Until next week, thank you much.
Thank you very much, brother. Once again, yes, hats off to you. Thank you again for that. Absolutely appreciate it and what you're doing and everyone involved. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.